Hey everyone, welcome to Patriot Soapbox, where I give you my commentary on the news of the day as reported by the Wall Street Journal. First, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Hope your holiday was great, and hope you enjoy the Macy's parade, the dog show. Well, maybe you don't like maybe you don't like the snobbish nature of the dog show, but whatever. First thing when I was watching the dog show, I was like, I can't understand the names of half these breeds. Speak English, snobs. Come on. Well, the winner of the dog show was a 2-year-old English bulldog named Thor, which I suppose makes some sense. Yeah, that dog won Best in Show, and the runner-up was a 3-year-old Whippet named Whiskey. Now, if you have no idea what a Whippet looks like, Google it. You will be horrified. It's like this scrawny little dog. I'm like, how does that thing even sustain itself? There's like no meat or mass or muscle or anything on that dog. It's just like some skin like tightly wrapped around bone. It's almost cruel, I think, to breed those things. But whatever. Today is the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and for those of you who don't know the history behind Black Friday, the term originates from the term like being in the red or in the black in business. Like in the red means you're in debt, in the black means turn a profit. And so traditionally, retailers would become in the black on Black Friday because they finally turn a profit that year as people flooded the stores to go buy Christmas stuff. So yeah, that's why it's called Black Friday. Like I mean, this Black Tuesday was the stock market crash in 1929. That was bad. That was a bad form of black. This is a good form of black. Black Friday means, the retailers now turning a profit. Although now it's debatable whether they'll turn a profit soon because Amazon is catching up. I mean, still retailers by like brick and mortar stores by far sell more or in terms of dollar amount than Amazon or any other online retailer. But I mean, the gap is closing. I think Toys R Us and Sears are just the first to die. Then President Trump visited Afghanistan this Thanksgiving, so go him. It's nice of him to go spend the holidays with the holiday with people who can't see their families and friends. But apparently the news that he's probably just gonna spend the day tweeting and golfing, and no, he went to Afghanistan. They tried to keep it incredibly secret that he was going there. Like, there's always, for example, every president has 2 Air Force Ones just in case one's not, just in case one's broken or something, or one is in one place, and if one Air Force One's like a couple thousand miles away, then the president can just get on one that's only 20 miles away, like that kind of thing. It's just good to have a spare. So he left one Air Force One in Florida, and then secretly took off in another one to go from Mar-a-Lago, or rather from the airport near there, to go to Afghanistan. And so before then, he had set his Twitter account to send out some tweets during the 13-hour span of time that he wouldn't have internet access. Because think about it, if President Trump went 13 hours without tweeting, it would be the American people could make the very reasonable assumption that he was either dead or in a coma. So yeah, I mean, not even surgery he would need to take that long, unless he would need like brain surgery or cerebral bypass. So yeah, people would get suspicious that something was up if he didn't tweet for that long. But yeah, he made a surprise visit, tried to revive the Taliban peace talks. So yeah, so for those who say President Trump isn't doing a good job, he takes time out of a holiday to go work. I mean, workaholic? Maybe, but good for the American people? Absolutely. The economy is still strong. Black Friday has proven that thus far that even from the Black Friday sales started late yesterday because we started them earlier and earlier every year. The economy has shown that there's no sign of stopping Trump's economic boom. People are like, oh no, the economy's gonna collapse. It's gonna collapse because the world's slowing down. The economy's slowing down a little bit. The world economy, it's not like the world economy's plummeted. It's just growing a little more slowly. So it's like starting to level off. U.S. economy is still booming though. So I think Trump is good for the economy. And then President Trump apparently in 2016 he won 39% of union votes, which is the most for any Republican candidate since Reagan. Seriously, that's huge that a Republican president won union votes at all. Because typically the unions are solidly Democratic. But he's risking losing that support now because his Department of Labor is backing expanding the Department of Labor's apprenticeship programs for several different professions. So an apprenticeship is more of a it's a way of like trying to boost the amount of skilled labor by like it's more of like it's more of like intensive form of training. Like there's classroom time, training time, and apprentices work alongside other skilled workers so they can become skilled too. I mean, it's been around for centuries, millennia even, and but the unions typically don't like apprenticeships or an expansion of them. And President Trump initially said he was just going to expand to like healthcare and social services, stuff that traditionally doesn't have a lot of apprenticeships. But now he's debating doing some expanding construction industries, which the construction already has the highest number of apprenticeships in the country. So the unions aren't thrilled, but I don't think the apprenticeship thing is enough to knock off union support just yet, because I do like his support for the Keystone Pipeline and the rebuilding infrastructure, because it gives them jobs and fattens the union bosses' pockets. Then apparently for a long time now, candidate Pete Buttigieg has been comparing himself to Obama, and this article here goes over some of the similarities and differences between the two. Like, for example, they both have odd-sounding names. I mean, Buttigieg and Obama. Not really. You don't really hear them that often, but now Obama's a household name because he was president for 8 years, and Buttigieg, as he rises support, becoming a more well-known name. They're also relatively young. I mean, Buttigieg is 37. Obama was only like 9 years old when he started his campaign in 2007. Well, now he's old, but he was young-ish. And also, Obama's election was a historic presidency because he's the first black to be president of the U.S. Buttigieg, on the very rare chance that he wins, would be the first openly gay president. And but there are some differetions. Like Buttigieg isn't doing well in the African American sport, although neither was Obama, oddly enough, until the Iowa primaries when he won those. And Obama had a lot of young supporters. Buttigieg mainly most of his supporters are in the middle age and older crowd, which is odd given that he's a millennial, but whatever. But another similarity is that they are both Midwestern. Obama was, well, depending on who asks, he's either born in Hawaii or Africa, but his political career started in Illinois. Buttigieg started his resident of Indiana. So there's some similarities to be sure, but there's also considerable differences between the two. So I don't think Buttigieg has a chance. And I think he's sort of like the fact he tries to play on being a Christian a lot, but I think he's a Trojan horse. So yeah, maybe I'm just cynical, but maybe I'm accurate. Who knows? Maybe I'm both. Who knows? Popping over to the op-ed section, there's a op-ed scolding Democrats for the criticism of online campaign ads. Because all the way back in 2012, when the Obama campaign started using what's known as micro-targeting, which is where, when you buy a product on Amazon or something, you might see on Facebook. Let's say you buy a toaster on Amazon. I'm pretty sure if you do it on your phone, and then you buy it on Amazon, hop over to Facebook, you'll see, hey, here's a toaster ad. That's micro-targeting. The internet companies have a very detailed profile of who you are and what you like and etc. And they use that to tailor ads to you. I mean, it's a very effective form of marketing. And political candidates do that too, based on what campaign pages you search for, what posts you like, and which ones you leave a little angry emoji on if you're on Facebook, that kind of thing. And so when Obama tried that in 2012, he was hailed as like, brilliant. That's genius, right? That's a perfect way to reach voters. I mean, you can reach some like the more the hardcore supporters. You might not need to send as many ads to, but those who are kind of iffy on you, target them. Those who don't like you a lot, target them. Or you can even target the ones who really do like you. And like, hey, look, this is why your support of us is totally grounded in fact. It's totally good. So I mean, yeah, I agree. Obama was a genius for doing that, but that was I think as much as I don't like his policies, I will say he was a damn good politician, and so is Hillary Clinton, so is Nancy Pelosi. They're damn good at being politicians, good at implementing policy effectively. Not so much. But are they good at being politicians? At getting elected? At getting votes? Oh yeah, of course they are. I mean, they're veterans. They know what they're doing. They're not stupid. You cannot win in politics if you're stupid. It just doesn't happen. Like, people like, so I actually disagree with conservatives like, that candidate's so stupid. They're so stupid. That'll never work. I'm like, oh no, they ain't stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. They're doing it. It's called a power grab, you know? Their policy might be dumb, but some people are dumb enough to buy it, and they know that. And that gives them power. So Bernie Sanders isn't stupid for pushing socialism. He's actually brilliant, in my opinion. But now that the Republicans are trying this whole targeting ad, it's called like sinister, anti-democratic, tantamount to mind control or election tampering, and weaponizing political misinformation. That's like why the change? Because Republicans are doing it. So the outreach over political ads it's almost it's pretty hypocritical if you think about it. It's good for both sides. It's good if they do it, but then if the other side do it, suddenly mind control. That's nuts. It's not mind control. It'd be more akin to mind reading in a sense that, well, not really mind reading because you put in all the info that they need on social media, but you know what I mean. It's more tantamount to mind reading than mind control. But I mean, it's nothing new either, because you could call any form of advertising mind control. It's because the ultimate goal of advertising, no matter how it's done, whether it's a billboard or on the highway or an ad on Facebook that you see based on what you search for, it's the same purpose there, to influence your opinion. To get, like, for a Coca-Cola ad, they're trying to convince you that Coke is the best and that you should buy some. For a Donald Trump ad, trying to convince you that Donald Trump is the best and you should vote for him. Same thing. It doesn't matter the medium. The goal is just there. It just so happens that social media advertising is more effective than, say, a billboard. So yeah, don't buy the hypocrisy or outrage over ads. It's nuts. It's like I'm pretty sure they probably said the same kind of stuff when television ads started appearing, or radio, or newspaper. It's no different in principle. Finally, there's another op-ed saying that, like, affirming the idea that even though Warren and Sanders say that the middle class won't be, well, I think Sanders has admitted now that middle class will be taxed under his new plans, and Warren's still skeptical. Warren still doesn't want to admit that, but according to Europe, she's wrong. It will happen. The middle class will suffer because of her plans, because eventually she'll need more money and she'll scoop it up. Like, as I said before, the income tax initially pushed is just a measure for to get money from the wealthy, and now a good chunk of Americans pay taxes. Like within just a few years of passing the 16th Amendment, 40% of Americans are paying the income tax. That's ridiculous and a bit lying. And the reason is because politicians, again, they're good at being politicians. Once you give them a really easy means for getting money, of course they're not going to pass it up. It'd be stupid. Because now they have this whole source of revenue they can just tap into. So Europe has currently let me just read you some statistics as examples. Sweden, their top marginal income tax rate is about 55%. It applies to earnings as low as $47,000. That's like middle class, lower middle class in the United States. Probably more on the side of like lower middle class or middle class. But yeah, 55%. That's just income tax. That's not property tax, payroll tax, which yes, there is a difference between payroll and income taxes. Payroll tax goes to fund pension programs like Social Security and Medicare, whereas income tax goes to fund other more general purpose programs like the military or, anything. And then went to UK, there's the second highest rate is 40%, and it hits taxpayers earning £50,000 a year, which is $64,000, and according to current exchange rates. And the U.S. tax rate is in the United States, the top marginal rate applies only to taxpayers whose wages are 9.3 times the average wage, and whereas in Belgium, the top rate applies to people earning 1.1 times the average wage, and the Netherlands is 1.4 times. And then the income tax isn't enough to pay for the welfare state, so then they have the payroll tax, and it just gets worse from there. And people wonder why Europe is not kicking in their fair share of paying for NATO. I mean, Currently, the rule is you have to spend 2% or more of your GDP on the military. The U.S. is currently about 3 to 4% GDP. Only, I believe it's 4 other countries. If I remember right, it's the UK and Greece. I think the other two are Canada and Poland. Are the only countries that actually pay that much. Germany, for example, pays like 1.7% of it or of its GDP on the military because they can't pay for anything else. They just have the wealth. Once the country started adopting this big of a welfare state, they just can't pay for anything. It's just done. No, you can't pay. And on that note, I say goodbye until the next time on Picture Your Soapbox. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great daily content.